Happy summer, everybody, and thank you for joining us on today's episode of Off the Hook Fishing. As a sort of a prequel video to our upcoming pier fishing video that I'm going to be uploading in a few weeks, I wanted to give you guys a little sneak peek into what tackle I use to catch a fish on the pier and in the surf. Surf fishing mainly consists of terminal tackle usage, as the smaller fish that I'm targeting, whiting and pompano, would much rather take shrimp than a lure. However, I do carry some artificials with me in my saltwater tackle. At first, I was a huge skeptic of artificial lure usage while pier fishing, until somebody recommended I try the gotcha plug. For some reason, bluefish, Spanish mackerel, trout, and other larger fish cannot resist these lures if worked correctly. I've even heard of people who've caught cobia on these small baits. I recommend any body color with a red head. Another fish that will just as readily take an artificial lure as compared to a live bait, such as shrimp, are flounder. Flounder love these gotcha 6-inch curl tail grubs with a small weighted jig head. Hopped along the bottom, they just can't resist it. Now on to terminal tackle. From bottom fishing, which is the main thing I use off of the pier, I like to use 2 hook rigs with a 3-ounce or 2-ounce sinker on the bottom, depending on the wind and the current. Fully rigged, they look like this. I like to use 2 size 6 circle hooks and a 3-ounce sinker on the bottom, either a pyramid or a screw sinker. Other tackle I have includes more rigs, more weights, J-hooks, jig heads, and other smaller sinkers. And for redfish in the fall and big sharks, I have these 6-aught and 8-aught circle hooks. Other tackle I bring out onto the pier includes 2 knives, this Danco knife which I use as my backup, and my main knife is an eagle claw fillet knife, and I use that to fillet my whiting, pompano, Spanish mackerel, bluefish, other fish I like to take home. I also bring with me a pair of scissor pliers, some extra line, and a glove in case I catch any poisonous or, stingrays, stuff like that. The bait I like to use for bottom fishing off the pier is mainly shrimp. A common misconception for beginner fishermen or fishermen who've just never gone pier fishing is that the bigger the piece of shrimp or the bigger the piece of bait, the more and the bigger fish you're going to get. Well, in pier fishing, numbers are more important than size. That's going to give you a better meal, more fish, etc., etc. So you want to cut your shrimp about the size of your pinky, sometimes even smaller depending on what size the fish are being caught, because the whiting and other small 10-inch fish will not be able to bite the bigger pieces of shrimp. So make sure to cut them small. Next, all you need is your rod or rods, like this 8-foot Okuma Elite rod with a Shakespeare alpha reel, spooled up with 15 to 20 pound test, and you're ready to go out and hit the beach or the pier. And that's about it. Thank you for joining us on today's episode of Off the Hook Fishing, and see you next week.